Question is agreed to. Call on Government Order of the Day number 1.
Interrupted debate on the second reading of the New Zealand Business Number Bill.
Brett Hudson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's a great pleasure to stand and rise on this New Zealand Business Number Bill. In this reading, I had the fortune to serve on the select committee that looked at this bill. We returned it with some small amount of changes, and I've listened to the debate on this reading, Mr Speaker, and I'd just like to cover a couple of points first about what the bill is meant to achieve, and then I'd like to address a couple of the concerns that were raised. So the bill supports the business growth agenda of this government, helping to make small and medium businesses more efficient, helping to reduce the cost of compliance, particularly the cost of doing business with the government. And we have this odd situation, of course, where forever businesses have to have separate representational credentials with every government agency they have to do business with. So change an address, change any matter of a detail, change a phone number, and that business has to take a great deal of effort to update any number of agencies they might do business with individually and repetitively over the course of their business lifetime. So the Business Number Bill will provide a central way of maintaining some basic company information, the information that's already public, but will do so in a way where a business will only have to give that information once, and every agency over time, every government agency that they do business with, will be able to draw from that source of information, which will also mean that not only is it easy for the business to do its business with those agencies, but if it should need to change something, an address detail, a phone number detail, some small amount of material change, the business will only need to make the change in one location, and it will be with the agency of their choice, and that information will effectively filter through to all of the other agencies, which of course means that the business, the small or medium business, can spend more time focusing on what it does, which is providing products or services to its customers, and less time actually dealing with New Zealand government agencies, which is exactly the way things should be. And I think it's a very commendable objective, and I'm very confident, Mr Speaker, that this, if enacted, that this legislation will achieve that. There are a couple of concerns that were raised that I just want to touch upon. So one of them was the pace with which agencies might adopt the Business Number Bill. Now, the reality is that in order to participate, the agencies will have to adjust their IT systems and applications to be able to make reference to this new, I think it's 13-digit New Zealand business number. Now, we could just have every agency immediately drop what they're doing and immediately undertake a project, in some cases quite a small one, in many cases quite a comprehensive one, to ensure that their systems can interface with this New Zealand business number. And that is as simple, Mr Speaker, as a call centre application with a human being on the phone being able to draw upon that business number to identify a business that's called into them, or a web application being able to call upon it, or any other agent employee within that agency being able to look up and verify and use that business number information. So we could have just demanded they all do it at once, they'd all drop other priorities, things that are more pressing on their programs of work, and spend a great deal of money to do something right now. So it appears to me a very sensible approach that there will be a small number of agencies, about 7 I think in total, that will come on quite rapidly, but others will join this as they go through making system updates over time. The second point was around why can't we just use a number that already exists today, like your in-land revenue number, for instance, because virtually everyone's got one. Sounds good at face value, Mr Speaker, but if we think about the reality of this, if an agency surrendered its ID number as the number for all other agencies to use, if you think about it, that would actually constrain the way on their internal systems, not the ones that are actually the source or the lookup point for this business number information, but their own internal systems. It would constrain how they could then use that number, adapt it over time, and their applications could call upon that. So by using a new and separate number, it gives the agencies the freedom to do what they need to do inside their own activities with their existing identifiers, for them all then to call upon this new number so that the customer can continue to benefit from a range of services that will be developed over time, but to do so in a way that they can all still benefit and make use of the New Zealand Business Number Bill. So I think it would be a major mistake to have picked a single agency, to have taken their unique identifier and to have used that as the identifier across every agency. It would create more problems in the future than it would solve right now. So, Mr. Speaker, in concluding, I'd say this is a very pragmatic, sensible bill. It will help to reduce expense, time and effort for New Zealand's small and medium businesses and over time for all businesses across New Zealand, and I commend it to the House.